Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's a pretty exciting day because I've decided that we should probably start working on the amusement park. We're finally gonna break ground on this project. The area before the amusement park has changed quite a bit. Right now it's home to the X-Mansion and just like some random plates that we brought over here along with a bunch of road plates that we made like a turnaround with. So I think that actually works out pretty nicely. You know, we've got like a forest over there along with a little fountain area and the farmer's market. This is probably gonna change. And for right now, the amusement park is just like the rides slotted in place, which I think is actually like the final position of these rides. And same with the castle, because we actually took the time to Mills plate around everything. So the Mills foundation is ready to go. And we even have the raised area ready to go as well. So trains can pass underneath these rides, such as the roller coaster, Haunted Mansion in the far corner there, and the Haunted House. However, we have a big gap here. So we need to figure out how we're gonna fill that in. It can be rock work, similar to what we did right over there, where we have the Ninjago area, or it could be like the platform coverings that we see right over there in the Lego city, sort of like a concrete masonry decoration with arches. What do you think? Should it be that? Or should it be like natural mountains? Or maybe it should be a combination of the two, almost like the amusement park was built around these natural mountainous terrain. I think that sort of makes sense. Yeah, I've convinced myself. It's got to be the combination of the two because, of course, there's going to have to be lifts and stairs going up to the elevated area. The first thing that we need to work on is actually defining the perimeter of this park. I've started doing that with our nougat wall, which uses a combination of the brackets, bricks, and masonry bricks. But I think we need to relocate that and also complete it because we have it on this side here. We started laying the foundation for it here. But yeah, I think we need to start working on that and just get the area of the amusement park defined with the wall. First things first, we had some sections of the wall that were built along here outside of the amusement park, but this wall is just gonna go around the amusement park. We'll find other ways to fence off the train track outside of the park. And we also brought the wall from the inside to the outside because this train track is technically part of the amusement park, even though it goes through the city and underneath the elevated platform over there. But I think it makes more sense. And because we were able to save those other panels, we migrated those over here. And now we're moving the wall that I started constructing a long time ago to the exterior so we can get this built all the way along there. I mapped out the corner here. And while I was doing that, Mrs. Bricksie was building these. This is how we attach the vegetation to the exterior of the wall. It is strange that we're using brackets, but hey, all of these parts here were found on the pab wall. So it's 1x2 plate, 1x1 plate, 1x1 bracket, and we just create a 1x2 brick using those elements. The reason we want to create the brick is because for the most part, the walls are constructed using even parts, 1x2s, 1x6s, etc. So when we build those into the wall, you can see one right there. It acts as a 1x2, so it keeps that interlocked goodness that we like so much, right? Yeah, got to keep things interlocked in Lego form. So that's what one of our little modules looks like. It's pretty easy to remove because it's got plate running along the bottom, and there we go. The curve that I came up with, I think this is the math that we're probably going to run with. So here we have the hinge, and then there's 6 studs, another hinge. This, I believe, is 10 studs. Yeah, 2, 4, and a 6, so 10 studs. And then another 10 stud section, and then 6 studs. And that seems to work nicely with the math of the curve, so it sort of follows the track there. And I think it's pretty well centered. So now we just need to go through with hundreds of bricks and build this up, build the curve up, build that up there, and then all the way along there. And then there you go. We're going to have our wall ready to go. Just the addition of the nougat wall is a nice like break of the color because right now it's a lot of green and dark and light gray, but just that just changes it so much. It makes it look a lot better. I like the curve too. So the wall, it just frames it perfectly. We've got it all the way along up to underneath the haunted house, wrapping around the corner here, and also on either side of the entrance, and going up to the access point over there, just behind the loop coaster as well. So it's official, the amusement park is framed. Maybe we need to put like some sort of arch here, like a decorative arch or something. That might be pretty neat. Change it up a bit. Have like an arch that the train passes through and have like the vines growing over top. I just thought of that. So maybe we'll do that. I need to think about how we're going to top the wall because right now it's just studs. We're thinking of using these, either the nougat like triangular pieces there or the ones that look like a pyramid. You can see it in light gray, tan, reddish brown, or dark tan. Of course, we don't have quantities in these pieces, but we need to decide which ones we're gonna order. I think I'm leaning toward tan. I think that looks pretty cool. So that would be just a great way to cap the wall. The next thing that I need to take care of is actually mills plating the Ferris wheel. For some reason, it's not mills plated. I think it's because it used to sit on like pedestals in the old amusement park. And when I mills plated this, I didn't mills plate it. It's gonna fit perfectly on a 48 by 48 base plate. So I just need to extract this build, lay down some bricks accordingly to the plate layout of this, and get that mills plated, just because right now it's sort of sunk into the ground and it has random decoration all around it, such as the sand blue and light gray tiles, because that's how the amusement park used to be tiled. So I just need to clean that up. Also right here, you can see this train track has the dark gray tile underneath it, but this one here has the exposed base plate, so you can see the light gray and green. We also need to try and tidy that up as well. Because the Ferris wheel has functions in the middle, when placing this on a 48 by 48, I decided to fully reinforce the center. But other than that, I'm just mills plating it as if it's on 16 by 16s on the exterior. But I just want to make sure that this right here is super secure. There we go. That's a lot better. Happy that that's mills plated. Pretty sweet. And it has this custom mechanical building out back. And concealed within is the IR receiver and also the battery box. So push down on that to turn it on and then control it with the IR remote. And away we go. The first ride is operational here in the amusement park. That's pretty sweet. And this guy can't get enough of it. I like it with all the tiles. It tidies it right up, that's for sure. I realize it's not a ballast track look, but hey, you know what? We've got both varieties here in the city. I built this tunnel here. Yeah, it's not covered in vegetation, and you'll notice that it has some random colors. And so does the wall over here. I forgot to point that out. We would love to build it all in nougat, and you can see some nougat hinge pieces in there, but unfortunately we just don't have them. So whenever you see weird random colors in our builds, it's just something we do, and eventually we'll swap them out when we get a chance to order them in all nougat, for example. But this tunnel here, it uses the nougat arches, also like those rounded pieces to give it a unique shape. And then we have those pyramid elements on top. And I think we have to order 880 of those. Mrs. Bricksie was doing the math to give it the pyramid top like we want, like that. So we're gonna do that. Now this tunnel is quite tall, but it has to accommodate the Disney train, which is a very tall train. So when I pop this down, it should hopefully be able to fit that train. Ooh, one more plate. Ah, one more plate, look at that. But yeah, it's just such a tall train because of that smokestack there. So gonna have to raise it up one more plate. But that's the main premise of that. I think it's pretty interesting. It connects the two walls, something a little bit different. And we decided to build this wall right here out so that we could increase the size of it, because when it was just a single arch, it looked a bit strange. So we wanted to increase the depth of the tunnel. I think that makes more sense. I know the colors are sort of weird right now, but we'll change that in the future. It's an insane head-on collision though, hey? The Disney train versus the Hogwarts Express. Who's gonna win? Let's not and say we did. But it should pass under it now. Okay, perfect. Whew, just barely. Maybe I should have went 2 plates. But this tunnel's already looking pretty tall. So in addition to building this tunnel, we also built another tunnel over here. Check it out. It's a double tunnel, and this went through a lot of trial and error because we have the 2 tunnels on the 32 by 32 stud base plate there, and they actually come out a little bit. I think it's 10 studs. And then we have the platform coverings or like retaining walls built right there, and we built 2 of those, which are 48 studs wide. And where the trial and error was actually getting it to the right height. You can see how the height of it actually matches up with the platform. And I actually decided to build these 2 differently than one another. So of course this was the first one that I built, and it was the one that went through some trial and error just to make sure that we got it to the right height. So this one is built essentially as a solid unit. You can see those bricks go all the way across. Everything is interlocked, and we've got our 2 plates running across the top there, so now it's at the right height. I had to perform surgery, so it still needs to be pushed down a little bit more, I guess. But this is the second one that I'm building right here, and I decided to make this one more of a modular style build. So these pillars are removable, built individually, and then the wall sections that are 6 studs wide are built individually as well. So if I ever need to make some modifications to this one, it's going to be a lot easier. So if we want to change the design of it or add something like a staircase or a tunnel entrance or anything like that, it's going to be a lot easier to modify when you compare it to this one here because everything is interlocked. Yeah, so that's the 2 platform coverings. It's got the 1x8 arches and the pillars with like the masonry wall in behind with the forward-facing studs so we can attach the vegetation, and then the smaller arches on the top there, and those are topped with the 4x4 plates, and also the row of masonry bricks, so it's sort of like an extension of the raised platform. And you've seen things like this in the Lego City, and this is the tunnel here. So our nougat wall goes up to the tunnel, and there's a wall in the center which is 2 studs wide, and then we've got 2 arches coming up just to give it a little bit more depth. And we decided to make it protrude a little bit off the wall, just because I think that gives it more depth and just more of like a tunnel effect. And instead of using the arches on the top, I had to use some inverted slopes. I would prefer to have it the same, but use some inverted slopes just because we had to make it so tall for that Disney train. And you can just barely see the wood, but the train just barely passes underneath the wood. I don't know, when I cut the legs for this platform or made this platform, I must have factored in the Disney train because it barely fits under there. Like, it is so close. But yeah, that's our basic tunnel there for the amusement park. I can't wait to connect the train track. Speaking of connecting the train track, I need to connect this line. It's not connected through the tunnel there, and I have not ran a train on this amusement park line in a very, very long time. So I'm excited about testing that. As we know, the Disney train is a little bit taller than your average train. So I had to increase the height of this tunnel by 1 brick as well. And then I have to modify this train station yet again, because typically this staircase here would go like that, but because it's wider, so the train is also wider, it runs into the arches right here. So typically the train will just pass through no problem, but the tooth pieces on the side of the passenger car run into that. Also, the elements on the front of the steam engine run into these here, even when they're folded down. So I had to remove those, and I put them on this cargo truck for now, and I had to remove this as well just so we can get this train going. So it's a little bit of a nuisance, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't ran the Disney train in so long. It's because I pretty much need to completely rebuild that staircase or figure out a new way to have those stairs go across without having these arches. which I'm going to deal with on another day. Yeah, I'm getting hot in here. It's smoldering in this place. But I connected the train track, and it's sort of weird because we have so many wood legs here, so I can't make a regular curve. So it like curves and then straightens and then curves again. And luckily for me, I have these panels that are easy to remove so that I can actually access this train track. So if trains do derail, I can get in here and put them back on the rail and get it going. But yeah, those are some additional modifications that I had to make for the Disney train. All right, we got the Ferris wheel going there, and we can get this train going around the city loop. Oh, something on the track. Uh-oh, what was that? Ah, one of the tiles from earlier. Okay, and then we'll get this train going. There we go. All aboard, Mickey Mouse is off. Oh, he's been off for a while. We're putting him back to work now. Love it. Should pop out through this tunnel here. Go through the train station. And there we go, back around the amusement park. So that's pretty sweet. I am really happy with that. Now we have a Ferris wheel operational and 2 trains at once. When's the last time we did that? Pretty cool. We could get a 3rd train going too on the line down here, and the loops are definitely big enough that we could get multiple trains going on the same loop. For example, this city loop here is quite large. So this amusement park, it feels good to just get the walls built, get the Ferris wheel going, and also get those platform coverings built, and also the tunnel. I think that's awesome. I put the Disney train station back here as well. I think because we have so much space, we're able to put that back in the amusement park where it belongs. I just need to build a back for it and customize it, so I'll probably be doing that. I've built backs for lots of buildings, and I don't think that one's going to be overly difficult to do, so I look forward to doing that. I also put these 2 little mini modular buildings back up against that platform covering there. So that's pretty cool as well. We plan on building a bunch more mini modular buildings. Believe me, wherever you see the light gray, it's not going to be light gray. We're going to put buildings, games, hopefully some custom rides, and we still need to get that platform covering going as well. So I could just build more like that. I think that actually works out quite nicely, but I think there should be a transition from the rock work to the actual human-made concrete platform covering. And then we need to figure out how the minifigures are going to make their way up top, whether that be like a false staircase maybe embedded underneath. There's like a hallway going to it, and then there's like almost like a subway entrance up top where the stairs come up. Or we can build some big grand staircase outside of it, and we could also build like some sort of elevator or something as well. But it just feels good to get the main outline done and just get some of the structural stuff going here for the amusement park, and get the Disney train going. I am so thrilled about that. That is amazing. We've got some movement in the amusement park. The reason I wanted to jump on this project today is just because we have been running low on bricks and supplies to continue working on other projects, such as the island, the mountains, etc. And we have the parts to do this. So we may as well spring over here and get started. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Bye for now.